Hello and welcome to the Wednesday show on Wednesday. Welcome to this episode of the Wednesday show. I'm CJ. It's February 7th, coming to you pre-recorded from Minnesota. It is currently sunny and 2 degrees out today. So, our 4 topics for the day are swing dance class I took last night, a Nosferatu remake, then we're going to take a little break for a second, then I'll be getting into a new Deadpool trailer that's come out, and I just learned about this. I'm probably a little bit behind the times, but there's going to be a new It movie director's cut coming out, probably this year it sounds like. So, I hope you guys have been having a good past week, and let's get into it with my swing dance class. So last night I went to my very first dance class ever. It was teaching West Coast Swing and Nightclub Two-Step. Yeah, it was only about an hour and a half long, so yeah, I think that was a good amount of time actually. It flew by. I mean, I had a lot of fun there. But yeah, it was my first dance class ever, and complete beginner, so I sucked right off the bat. I was probably out of time, like wrong footwork and all that. But, I mean, the time spent there, it really did fly by, and it was a lot of fun. I'm surprised I didn't try this beforehand, because I really enjoyed myself. I think I might take a couple more classes. But, yeah, I was learning West Coast Swing, and apparently there is a fad maybe going on right now for that. It's kind of trendy or hip, apparently, so I mean, yeah, it looked fun. I looked it up online before I went, and I'm like, okay, that seems enjoyable. So I decided to go and try it, and to my surprise, I enjoyed myself, even though, I was doing terrible. I sucked at it, but, I still had fun. I want to pursue it more, I think. And it's just a skill I think everyone should learn, I'm saying dance in general, just West Coast, not just West Coast Swing, but, like waltz and all that. But yeah, this was my very first class I've ever taken, and it was an experience like I've never really had before, and because I think it was a small class, it was just, me, one other person, and the teacher. I mean, it kept everything more tight-knit, I want to say, so there's a lot more. It was easier to focus on what you were doing. There's not a lot more people, so the teacher's not going back and forth, though it would be nice, to have other people to compare with. And the teacher was trying to say, hey, bring your friends next time if you do another class. And, I might not, I don't know. See if anyone's interested. But it was actually a really fun time. Like I said, I really sucked at it. But even though I sucked at it, I still had fun. The movements, the footwork, it was hard to keep in time on certain beats because you'd have to take it was like 3 steps in place, but it was like a triplet count almost. So if you ever took a band or anything, like triplet, 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 you know what I'm talking about. So we would have to take like 3 steps in place for most counts, except when I'm supposed to walk forward, I'm supposed to take 1 step, 2 step in place, and then with my left leg, I'm supposed to take 1 step forward, and that would always throw me off the count, because I always wanted to take 1 more step down with my left foot, but I ended up not doing that. I would just take 1 more step in place instead of 1 step forward like I was supposed to. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of got that down towards the end of learning that, and then we'd have to learn, I think it was, what'd you call it? This is like I was turning out and we're switching directions. Crap, I forgot the name of it. Oh well. But anyways, I found it pretty fun. I think there's going to be some more classes in the spring, and I might take some more. I'll probably podcast about that too. But anyways, I think this is a good place to stop for this topic, and I'll move on to our next topic, which is a Nosferatu remake, so let's get into that. So, Nosferatu. It's one of the classic vampire movies. It's probably like the classic vampire movie. In my last episode, I talked about Dracula and and Bela Lugosi, so I'm not going to get into that again. You can just listen to the first podcast. But, yeah, there's going to be a Nosferatu remake, and this is one of those movies you do not want to screw up, because the film community could view this as complete blasphemy to cinema. I mean, if you screw this up, your career isn't going to probably look too bright. But the director, I think his name was Robert Eggers, yeah. I hope I'm pronouncing your last name right. Sorry if I'm not. But I believe he was the same director who made the movie The Witch, and Anya Taylor-Joy was in that, and I really like that movie. It was actually really nice. A lot of good visual work, so I think he could pull this movie off. I'm not entirely sure if he will pull this movie off, but I really do think he can get this one down. I haven't really seen the movie Nosferatu, I'm embarrassed to say, as being a complete cinephile that I am. You know, I'm obsessed with film. But I think it's free on YouTube. This is gonna bug me now, so I'm gonna check this out. Is it on YouTube? Come on. Nosferatu. Okay, Nosferatu. Looks like I might be able to get it for free on YouTube. Yeah. And I think Amazon has it on their website too. Let me check. Nosferatu. Yep. It's on Amazon. I think it's Instant Video. Amazon Prime Video. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, Nosferatu, classic vampire story, loosely based off of Dracula. Interesting story behind it, though. When Bram Stoker died, and this movie was made way after his death, but his wife was still alive, and when she found out about it, she was pissed. I mean, she sued the company, but, you know, the company kind of went bankrupt because of their, with their entire marketing campaign. They tried to do, like, big costume party for it, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. But Nosferatu, they did this grand release for it. She didn't like this. She sued the company. The court ruled in her favor, and they tried destroying all copies that they could, and the film was originally made in Germany. But some copies. Sorry, I had dry mouth a little bit. But some copies were brought over to the UK and the US, and if I remember right, there were some cinema releases in the US, and there might have been a few in the UK, but you're going to have to fact check me on that one. I could be wrong. But since it got distributed within the US and all, the movie did survive, and if the copies were destroyed like she wanted, we probably would have never known about this movie. So I can't really say if it's good or bad. I mean, I know a bit about it, but I do want to watch the movie, and I'm going to probably get to it within the next few days. But anyways, Robert Eggers is looking at remaking this film, and Anya Taylor-Joy might be a part of this. I'm not sure if it's confirmed yet, but she might be in this one. I'm really excited to see if this is going to actually if they're going to go through with this, and it might be coming out in 2019. I might be wrong on this, but if it is, it'll probably be one of the biggest releases of the year, just knowing the name and the power behind that. And we haven't really had a scary vampire film in a long time. I'm sorry, but Twilight is not, I mean, vampires are part of the horror genre. Twilight is not horror. Neither was, what was it called? Interview with a Vampire, Anne Rice, yeah. I wouldn't necessarily call that a horror movie. I mean, I don't think it's considered a horror film, is it? So, let me check this out. Interview with a Vampire movie genre. Okay. Yeah, I am Googling this. Oh, it is listed as horror. Huh. Didn't expect that. So, anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. Yeah, the movie has only been remade one time before, and I think that was in the 70s. And critics, they kind of liked it, and it wasn't too popular at the time, but critics did, for the most part, like the remake. Nosferatu 70s. Okay, let's see if... Yeah, Nosferatu the Vampire, 1979. I'm looking this up on IMDb right now. They have it at 7.6 out of 10, which isn't bad for IMDb. Wonder what Rotten Tomatoes has given this movie. Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Let's check this out. See, Nosferatu the Vampire. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. This is highly rated. As of recording this, it's at 94%, and audience is given the remake 83%. I might have to actually watch the remake. Though, it looks like the makeup on the vampire isn't as good as the original, which you wouldn't necessarily think of since, it came out in, what was it, the late 20s? I think it was made in the early 20s, but it came out in the late 20s originally. But I'm going to be really interested in seeing how they're going to portray this remake, because this could go a couple different ways. I don't know. I mean, Robert Eggers, in The Witch, he was very good at building up the horror and the tension, so I wonder if that'll translate into Nosferatu. And this is kind of a big leap, going from your first, directorial debut with The Witch, or for a feature film at least, and going into something as big as Nosferatu. I mean, this is a big jump. But, I mean, I think he can pull it off, honestly. I really do think that Robert Eggers could actually pull this off. I mean, I hope he can, but I really do believe that he can, and I am really interested to see how this goes, especially with Anya Taylor-Joy. I mean, I really like her work so far, and she is kind of a rising star in the film industry. So it's going to be really interesting to see if he can actually pull this off in a way that'll bring fear and the horror back to vampires, because we haven't really had a actual scary vampire for a while. Vampires have, there's always a bit of still a dry mouth, but vampires, there's I'm getting tongue twisted here. Romanticized. Have always been romanticized, but not to the degree they are today. So if they can bring back more of the horror element to vampires, that'll be very interesting. I think the last actual scary vampire film I saw, or you could consider a scary vampire film, would probably be like 30 Days a Night, because, I mean, those were just animals. They made the vampires just complete and utter animals. So it'll be interesting to see if they'll actually do it that way or not. But anyways, yeah, I think this is a good place to stop for this topic, so we're going to take a little break and get back into it with the new Deadpool trailer. So let's take a break for a second. Alright, if you haven't checked out my blog yet, you can check out my blog at the-quintessentialist.blogspot.com. That's the-quintessentialist.blogspot.com. I mostly do movie reviews, and I'll have a link in the description of this podcast. I also have my new Midwestern Gothic short story out. It's titled The Ice Witch Under Lake Superior. You can get that on Amazon, so check that out, please. Now back to the show. So a new Deadpool trailer just dropped for Deadpool 2. It's introducing the villain Cable, who's looks like it's going to be the main villain of this movie. And it looks like Ryan Reynolds is going to bring full on, his full on comedy from the first film still, which I'm really glad about because the first movie was just freaking hilarious all around. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to portray this movie. How Ryan Reynolds is going to keep portraying Deadpool. Deadpool's just a funny character overall. So, I don't think you could get anyone but Ryan Reynolds for this. He's perfect. It's a match made in heaven for those two. But Deadpool looks like there's going to be some more fourth wall breaks, of course, and trailers look hilarious as always. And I'm really pumped for this movie. I know they changed the release date because they moved the New Mutants back. When's the release date for Deadpool? Why am I Deadpool 2? Okay. So the release date is May 18th. Okay. So May 18th, Deadpool 2 dropped. I know they released a couple trailers. Probably one of my favorites is when he's trying to be Bob Ross. Oh, man. I just get a little chuckle out of that just thinking about it. Especially if you've seen The Joy of Painting and just how calm Bob Ross is. I mean, that man... Oh, man. Bob Ross, he's just such an amazing painter, and it's so calming just listening to his voice, especially with his show. And his son actually has come on the show a couple times, I know. His son is really similar to his dad. But anyways, I'm getting off topic, so back to Deadpool. So it goes in with Cable. They're trying to make the trailer all serious. So, and then you see, like, this green screen arm that doesn't have any, like, it's supposed to be, like, all mechanical, but it's not. So then you hear Deadpool's voice, pausing the trailer, and he's trying to fix it. So he eventually fixes it, you get the big explosions, the action scenes, and it just kind of goes into the shenanigans that you would only get with Deadpool. And I swear, you can only get this with Deadpool. Then, you get a fourth wall break towards the end of the trailer where he's like, oh, that's lazy writing. It's really funny in context, but I really recommend checking out the trailer, especially if you really like Deadpool. But, yeah, I mean, it looks really good. I mean, I'm really excited for this film. Deadpool 2 looks like it'll be really exciting. Same comedy, and I hope they do up it a bit. It looks like they might with the action. I wonder what the budget is. If they have a bigger budget, they'll probably have more action. Budget. So Deadpool 2 budget. So it won't be bigger than $58 million, it looks like. I could be wrong. Let me check out the Wikipedia page. Deadpool 2, and I don't see it listed. But still looks like it'll be, a really fun movie, like it always will be, especially with that character. So, yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this topic, so we'll move into our last topic, which is going to be the re-release of the movie It, but it'll be a director's cut, so let's get into that. So our last topic today is there's going to be coming out a director's cut of the movie It. Now, if you saw It last year, the clown Pennywise with Bill Skarsgård. But that movie was freaking amazing, and I'm going to actually go over to my review of the movie. Let me find it quick. I want to see what I rate. I know I rated the movie pretty high, but I want to see what I gave it. I gotta go pretty far back in my blog. Wait, did I pass it? No. Yep, there it is. Okay. There it is. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Yep, that sounds about right, honestly. Uh, yeah, the movie was just amazing. The kid actors just blew me away. They were better than a lot of adult actors today, in my opinion. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to be in this director's cut. Of course, there'll always be some deleted scenes, but this will be the first director's cut that I'll actually go and see, I think. I haven't seen a director's cut in theaters for a while. I might have missed them, but I just haven't seen a director's cut in theaters for a long time, honestly. So yeah, there's gonna be a director's cut of it. A lot more scenes. And apparently, there might be a really messed up scene where Pennywise. Now, there's gonna be a little spoiler alert here. Apparently, he eats a baby. I could be wrong, but I've been reading something like that for a little bit, and I mean, it'll work for the film, I honestly think. Granted, it will be, really disturbing, it's a baby. But the shock value of it might work for the movie. And there might be some more scenes, I should say, of the kids interacting with their parents, it sounds like. And to see that dynamic play out, I think will add another level to the film and more depth to the characters and all. So we'll care more for the characters than we did beforehand. And these kid actors are just amazing. I mean, really, I can't praise them enough. And it sounds like It Chapter 2 will be coming out in 2019. And it's just amazing, and it's hard to keep saying the word it and not think about it, if that makes sense. You're thinking about Pennywise, it, but whenever you say it, it's kind of hard, especially when you're talking about it. It's kind of looping itself back and forth here. So yeah, we'll probably get some deleted scenes in that, and I'm really excited for this. I mean, I love the movie. It was just so amazing with all the elements that they brought to it. The horror, the drama, some comedic moments. Especially, I got to bring this up, because this is a minor spoiler for the movie It. In the very beginning, there's a little boy named Georgie. He's has a little toy paper boat, and he's playing with it out in the rain that his brother made for him. And the toy boat it goes down a sewer, and that's where Pennywise, that we first see him. Pennywise the dancing clown. So, anyways, there's a little exchange talking back and forth, and we all know Georgie's gonna die here. That's what happens. So he reaches for the boat after they talk for around a minute or two, tries to grab it. Pennywise is holding it out to him, but what I knew he was going to die there. What I did not expect is how freaky it would be, because you just see this mouth open up wide. It was almost like, stop motion animation looking, from what I remember. My memory could be wrong on this, but it just clamped down on his arm, tearing it off. Georgie's trying to crawl away from this, and you can just see him bleeding. I'm thinking, oh my god, I have not seen something that graphic in a movie happen to a kid before in a long time. So I was like, that was a lot shocking to me and my friends. I think a lot of people in the theater were a little surprised by how much they were showing. We did not expect that at all. I mean, that'll be continued in the director's cut, I'm assuming, and, we'll get the deleted scenes, but there's just so much more that they could add. I really wonder, I haven't bought the DVD yet, and I'm planning on buying it at some point here. I know it's been out for a while, and I really should get to the store soon and get that, but man, that scene was that was an intense scene, I think. But the director's cut, adding all these new elements to it, I'm really excited to see that come out, and I've been hearing it might come out in September. I could be wrong, but it'll be interesting to see when it will come out, and me and my friends will probably get back together, same group, we'll go out and see this movie, and we're just really excited for it. So I think that'll bring us to the end of this topic. I might end this episode a little bit early, but I think that'll be fine. So let's get into the outros. So that brings us to the end of the second episode of the Wednesday show. I hope you like this show. I'm partially doing this to help. I'm terrible at public speaking, and I always choke up, so I'm also doing this for my own benefit, to try and be able to speak more clearly. I know I'm not doing that so much right now, but I'm hoping as this goes along, I'll be able to start speaking more clearly, and it'll help boost some confidence with my public speaking. So I'm pretty excited for that. Anyways, I'll see you guys next Wednesday, and I really do hope you enjoyed this episode of the Wednesday show. Also, I'll see you next time.